Welcome back to day 2 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm so excited you are here as we dive into another creative challenge. Today's sketch is full of fun possibilities, and I'll be walking you through my process step by step, sharing tips, choices, and maybe even a happy accident or two. Whether you're playing along or just love watching the magic unfold, thanks for watching and sticking around. I'm Kathy, and today we're working a sketch from Ginger Bush. It is a double, so that means a little longer, but I know you'll find it worthwhile, so thanks for sticking around. I am using some Distress Oxide here in the Wild Honey through a stencil from Scrap Mats, and it is like cracked concrete or something like that, and I'm just adding it around the double of these pieces of paper because Ginger has some on hers which looks like mixed media, so I'm just adding in this to add a little extra highlight into the spacing that is going to be not covered by elements on this page. I do love yellow, obviously, chosen here, but also because it matches my photos very well today. I am only going to ink 3 edges of these double sheets because they are making a double page and we don't want ink down the center. I have done that, and I've removed 1/4 inch on both sides for both papers, and then I'm going to mat them on a black frame. Now that paper on the other side is very pretty, but I would probably only ever use it for fussy cutting out of the flowers. I doubt I'd use it for anything else, so that's why I like the reverse side where it's a nice yellow. And it came from a pad that I purchased a while back, so I can't even tell you the name of it, but it is paper that's been sitting in my stash for a while. Sorry about that. I'm just needing to clean my hands up of that yellow oxide. So I've now had my pages done, and I have put the tape around the outside. Now, normally I just go straight in and trust myself and not even bother tagging it like this, but I thought I want it to be perfect, so I did it. And you watch me line it up, you see that I get it straight, but when it goes down, it doesn't go straight. And it takes me about 3 attempts before I'm happy with it. And even then, it's not perfect, but I can live with that. So I've just put down the 4 sides on this one, and you saw me do it. I don't know, didn't work out. I have to straighten it up again. I don't know, sometimes it works so easily and then other times not. But there's one done. Now we'll go for the second. This time I'm just going to do it the way I normally do it, and I'm doing one at a time, popping it down, lining it up so that when I put the double together they line up. And I'm just taking off the edge of this tape one at a time and making sure that all the edges go down nice and flat so there's no ripples. And I should just trust myself. I know how to do this, but for some reason today I had a terrible time. Okay, so there you can. There's my big oopsies for the first one. All right, I have spent about an hour cutting out flowers and creating them for this layout. I did that off screen before sitting down, so that is quite an extensive chore to do for this layout if you were to copy it. Not going to lie, it took a long time, but I hope that the overall effect in the end was well worth it, and I'm sure you'll agree that it does. So I have just put the 2 down the center of the main circle, and then cut them because they're the double page. So what I am doing is where Ginger had the 3 journaling circles around on her layout, I'm doing 3 interwoven circles of flowers. So I'm making like the Venn diagrams of the circles with the flowers, and at first it's a little bit difficult to see, but by the end you will see that there are 3 the 3 circles as per the sketch that Ginger created for us to use today. So I'm just layering them up where I think they're going to sit. When I'm happy, I'll start gluing them into place. I work on both sides, left and right, at the same time. I am sorry you can't see both sides working because of the space that I have as my workspace. That is it. What you see, that black mat, that is where I work for my scrapping, and I just need to work around that space one bit at a time. And sometimes it's frustrating, particularly when I do a double layout like today. So as you can see, you can already see the circle coming to life. I am sorry that you can hear those engines of cars and motorbikes outside. Typical Friday at here where all of our people just start to move. And yes, I am late with today's sketch. I should have had this up yesterday, but I was actually out and I'd been away with my friend scrapbooking, so I'm a little bit behind, but I will catch up over the weekend quite easily. So this is day 2, so remember that, even though I said today is Friday. I am building in that circle. As you can see, I had mapped out where photos were going to sit, so I didn't put flowers or waste where flowers were. And then once you see me lay down my photos, you'll realize that I made another mistake and I have to go and fix it by loading up more flowers. But that's okay. Oops, little mistakes, but only I know about them and you. But when the product is finished, nobody knows. So I'm just pulling those to the side so I can put my photos out and get them matted so that I can lay them on the layout. And these photos were taken at the Barrel Tulip Festival that I went to on my birthday. I was determined I was doing something for myself on my birthday, so I made everybody come to Barrel to the Tulip Festival that wanted to or could. And we had a lovely time there looking at all the beautiful flowers. And as I've said before, yellow is my favorite. And I had to make sure that I captured these beautiful yellow tulips. They were just so beautiful, and it reminds me of spring, and I just love the color of yellow. So my photos are going to be a little bit different in the fact that my one to the right, I don't have 2 landscape photos. I'm just putting in 1 portrait photo. That's just my variation on the sketch. And that just goes to show that your sketching is just a guide. It doesn't have to be followed exactly. You take the elements that work for you. Now I am just matching them all on black, but you saw that the smaller ones I did on the green, and I am going to double matte the feature one, which is this one here, because that tulip is outstanding. I just love how beautiful it is. Captured the single tulip. You can hear the neighbour's dogs barking in the background. I really do apologise. It is quite frustrating, but the cars driving around are setting them off. So I have a field of the tulips there. I just love how they're all yellow in that field. Took that photo myself as a selfie through the flowers, and that's just so I could capture the beauty of those flowers in my photo. So now that I've done that, I can lay them down as per the plan. Here's another change in it. This one, instead of being a 4x4, I've left it as a 4x6 because I wanted that full view of the field with the sky. And it just is beautiful how that photo turned out. And then I have got the close-up of that tulip. You can see there, it's just so pretty. Now that I've done that, I realize I haven't glued that one into place, and I can now move it over here. And this is where I realize I've left off some of the flowers. So I need to place my photos in first, and I just put that one down a little bit too far. So I fixed that up. And now I'm putting down my 3 little photos as per the sketch. And I have got the main one there in the center, and I'm actually going to pop that one up on foam tape because I just want that one to be a bit of a feature in that cluster of photos. So pop that one up, and it's off the corner, and there you have that triple set of photos. I did contemplate putting in another one there, as you just saw, but I decided not to. I don't think it needed to be there. I'm happy with how that's turned out, and that's where I realized I am missing some flowers to finish off the circle. So I just popped in a couple more, and I will go off screen to fill out these circles in a little while. I'm just going to add in some foliage now, some greenery, and you will see that that will help to fill in those wreaths of flowers to build the triple circles. And I just added some inking to the edges of some of the leaves and to some of the flowers, just to give them a little bit of a lift instead of just being flat cardstock. And I like how this is coming together with the foliage and the flowers, and it's just allowing that extra little bit of colour, picking out the colours in the photos, but filling up those circles and making the wreaths a full bodied addition to the layout. And I like those skeleton flowers because they allow me to build with a little bit more interest to the wreath. And I'm adding in all the little bits of green foliage, and when I go off screen I'll add in a whole lot more black centers to my flowers, where I will cut out some tiny little punch out little flowers to pop into the center of the flowers, and that will really make a difference, and you'll be able to see the circles so much better when that is done. So I went off screen and did all of that. I added in some black foliage as well, just to continue the circles, and look at that. It just looks magic. I'm going to put in this thicker title here that says Splendid, and I will glue it down because they do not stick, no matter how much you try. I added in some bees. Can you see the little bees? They're just buzzing around because there were bees in the garden. I've put in a little heart there, and I put another heart over to the other side. I did fiddle around with a few other little foam stickers, but I decided not to do that, and I removed them, and I just end up with the two hearts in places which you can't see over to the right, but trust me, it's there. And when you see the full layout at the end, you'll be able to see where that's been added in. I'm just putting in the word Splendid, and I am gluing it down because they will lift. For stickers are thick stickers, they just lose their stickiness. I don't know why, but anyway, that's how this has come together. I'm very excited. I like all the foliage. I like that the circles are in place. Now, to finish off, as always, I can't just let it go. My friend laughs. She just says, you just have to add, keep adding, don't you? You just can't finish. So I am adding in some faux stitching around the edging of my layout to finish off that total framing. I do love how this is turning out. It is very, very pretty. The yellow and the black and the green are a beautiful combination. I'm using some gold Nouveaux here. I am not going to flick these ones. I'm going to leave them solid because I want them to look a bit bradish. And that's another tip with Nouveau dots. If you don't flick them, they do have that three-dimension look, which looks like a brad on your page. So I'm just finishing in the last of this, and I do love the faux stitching and how much that adds to the layout. Those little bees are so cute. I cut those out on my die cutter, and I just like how these circles have come together. They actually worked out better than I thought they were going to do. Just putting in that it was at Bowral Tulip Festival, adding in my Nouveau drops, setting up the visual triangle on both sides of the layout, so that works really well, and I'm happy with how that has turned out. This was a beautiful sketch to work, and I'm glad I went with the flowers as the wreaths instead of solid circles. I like how this has turned out. It's really captured the feel of the gardens. Those wreaths interlocking there are just amazing, and just shows how easy it is with your dies, how you can build so many different levels of embellishing on your layouts. Don't forget, I like how it's turned out. This is what I like. You, of course, I hope you're playing along, and I would look forward to seeing all of the wonderful layouts that are produced using this sketch by going to Christy's 30 Days of Sketches Facebook group, and also by watching the playlist, which will be linked down below. So here's my full double layout. You can see it all together. Look at these close-ups. I'm sure I've earned a thumbs up from you. If I have, please hit that thumbs up button. It lets YouTube know that you like what I'm producing, and it will push it out further. And don't forget to hit the hype button. I need to build my hype on that leaderboard, and I really would appreciate your support. And thank you. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to stay creative, friends. Here's my next layout for you, and I will see you there real soon.